アルフィータイム It's アルフィータイムやったーやったー
Yeah! 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 Yeah!
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Hello and welcome to the Decent Wrestling Show, and welcome to yet another retro review for 2005. Today we're looking at One Night Stand 2005. This was the beginning of the rebirth of ECW. It would fully rebirth the following year, following One Night Stand 2006. But this was just the one-off show from 2005, the revival of ECW. Let's take a look at it. Joey Styles and Mick Foley were on commentary for this one. The opening match saw Lance Storm take on Chris Jericho. Lance is accompanied by a pregnant Dawn Marie in one of her final appearances in WWE, and Chris Jericho arrived in his old Lionheart gear. There's a back and forth to begin, Chris Jericho with a dropkick and a baseball slide. Jericho gets sent face first into the guardrail. Lance comes back with a dropkick and a delayed suplex. There's a really cool moment as Lance jumps to the top rope, but gets drop kicked on the way down. It looked really nice and really snug. Lots of back and forth followed this. Then there's a super kick from Storm, but does not get the 3 count. Boston Crab, but to the walls of Jericho, to a slingshot as it was reversed, and then a bulldog from Jericho. He goes for the lion salt, however Lance Storm gets his knees up, but Jericho sees that coming, and instead of hitting down on his knees, he lands on his feet and tries to get Lance Storm in the wall of Jericho, but there's some interference. Jericho gets a kendo stick to the head from Just Incredible, and Lance wins. This was a great match, a really fun opener. Nice loads of back and forth and fast-paced action, had some pretty cool moments, and everything was done pretty well. I think the finish sucked though, and I think that took away from the match, so I give it 3.5 stars, just because the finish was a bit lame. Pitbull Gary Wolf is backstage and he introduces a video package on passed away ECW stars. Rocco Rock, Terry Gordy, Crash Holly, the original Sheik, Mike Lazansky, Pitbull Anthony Durante, Big Dick Dudley, and Chris Candido. Rest in peace to all of them. The next match was a 3-way match, elimination 3-way. Tajiri taking on Super Crazy and Little Guido, also known as Nunzio. Tajiri is with the Sinister Minister and Mikey Whipwreck. Lots of fast-paced stuff as you'd expect. Crazy's moonsault is a thing of beauty. And speaking of moonsaults from Super Crazy, he goes up to the top of the balcony and does a moonsault off of it in a huge moment and the biggest moment of this match. The FBI interfere and take out Crazy. Tajiri with the mist to Guido. Mikey Whipwreck comes in and hits a stunner on Guido off the top rope to eliminate him. A powerbomb to a DDT from Tajiri. Crazy turnbuckle moonsaults, but Whipwreck pushes him off the 3rd one. Then there's some awkward stuff and there's a "you fucked up" chant. Powerbomb and a moonsault. Crazy wins. Fun match. Again, terrible finish as it looked like they really messed it up. The balcony dive was cool, but other than that it was nothing special. 3 stars, it was fine. We then get a video package on some ECW moments in their history. And then we move on to the next match, which was Psychosis taking on Rey Mysterio. Nice lucha opening stuff. Psychosis with a slam and an Irish whip. Moonsault press from Rey Mysterio on the return. There's a put the mask on and boring chants from the crowd. The crowds are basically just being dickheads. Psychosis leg drop from the top rope onto Rey on the guardrail on the outside, which looked great. Psychosis misses a dropkick in the corner and takes a nasty bump. Lovely facebuster by Rey Mysterio, and Rey with a seated senton into the crowd on Psychosis. He hits the 619 taboos and the West Coast pop for the 3 count in a 3-star match. It was pretty okay. There was nice back and forth and nice moments in it. It was an enjoyable little contest, but nothing out of this world and criminally short. The anti-ECW Crusaders arrive before we get a video package on more ECW moments. I don't know who the rhyming dude is who interviews the Crusaders, but he gets kicked out by SmackDown. Angle then antagonizes the ECW crowd. There's a "you suck dick" chant, and Angle goes, "Your mother taught me how." I mean, he's not denying it. JBL then antagonizes the EC crowd in the only way that JBL can. RVD interrupts and cuts the absolute promo of his life. Go on the network or Peacock or whatever, find this promo. He cuts the promo of his life. Then Rhino gores him out of nowhere and attacks RVD's injured knee. We fade to black and Sabu is here. This gives us an impromptu match. Sabu taking on Rhino. Chair to the head to Rhino, and he falls off the top turnbuckle to the outside. A chair dive from Sabu. A top rope hurricanrana and a slingshot leg lariat. Poetry in motion then connects. Sabu then gets toe-holded into a chair. Then gets slammed on a chair for a 2 count. Gore to the ref. Pile driver onto Sabu. RVD then hits Rhino with the chair. Drop kick with a chair in the corner from RVD. Then a table is set up, and Sabu does a top rope leg drop with a chair through the table to pin Rhino. Fun nostalgia stuff. Good setup, and nothing was really botched. It was just crowd pleaser stuff. 3 stars. It was fine. We'll then get Al Snow talking to his head, and he blames Head for SmackDown being here before sending it to another video package for more ECW moments as Raw finally arrive. So more ECW Crusaders. The next match was Eddie Guerrero taking on Chris Benoit. Good technical stuff to begin. Eddie powders early on. There's a chop off and Eddie hits a thumb to the eye. We then get a chin lock, but Benoit comes back with a belly to back suplex to get out of it. Benoit gets thrown to the outside and gets a chair to the back. Superplex back in from Eddie Guerrero, but the frog splash misses. Northern Lights suplex for a 2 count from Chris Benoit, and then Benoit with a superplex. 3 German suplexes and a diving headbutt for a 2.9. Eventually though he gets the crossface on Eddie and Eddie taps. It was all good stuff. Eddie didn't really seem to care though. It was very run of the mill and they would seem to be going for the motions. Well, Eddie did especially. These two rule, so it was still very good, but Eddie clearly wasn't feeling this, and I give it 3.25 stars. They've had much better matches. The rhyming guy's back and he begs for a job from Eric, but just gets booted out, and Eric denies him, kicks him out, and then antagonizes the crowd further. Next match, Mike Awesome taking on Masato Tanaka. Joey Styles on commentary hates Mike Awesome. Quick start to this one, a tope plancha for Mike Awesome as Styles wishes death on him. There's lines, man, that was just too far. Awesome gets backdropped into the crowd and then takes a running chair shot. There's a powerbomb through a table on the outside. Nasty stuff. Awesome with an awesome slash, but does not get the 3 count. They have a nice little sequence before Mike Awesome hits the awesome bomb. We then, both of them have a chair, and they have a chair versus chair match. Stiff shots to Tanaka as Mike Awesome wins that battle, but they have no effect on him. A tornado DDT onto the chairs for a 2 count from Tanaka. We then get a top rope chair dive, again not getting the 3 count. A German suplex and a spear by Mike Awesome, and then there's a top rope falling chair shot to the head of Tanaka. Jesus Christ, that was stiff. Tanaka with a DDT from the top rope through a table, but still can't get the 3 count. Mike Awesome then hits an awesome bomb off the top rope, but again, no 3 count, only a 2.9. Hangman to the outside through a table for Mike Awesome, and then he just dives on him for the 3 count. Insane match. What a fight. These two killed each other and had some iconic and crazy moments. Go check this match out. 4 stars. Paul Heyman is here to thank you, Paul chants. He goes off on SmackDown and Raw. To Edge, I have 2 words for you. Matt frickin' Hardy. I mean that's 3 though, isn't it? I mean, you kind of a cell phone there, Paul. And then he says, "This ain't WWE." I mean, it is though, isn't it? I mean, it's on the network now, isn't it? So, yeah, I mean, it is WWE, mate. RVD's promo was far superior than this. This one wasn't as good. I think it was a tad overrated. The main event, the Sandman and Tommy Dreamer take on the Dudley Boys. Sandman enters from the crowd and motorboats a woman, and one of them is Elektra, I believe, who was a former ECW member. The BWO is here. We get a Stevie kick to Sandman, and then chaos ensues. Kid Cash enters, runs in like a house on fire, and instantly gets thrown out. Axel, Ron, and Balls Mahoney also come out. Kid Cash then with a huge dive on everyone on the outside. And we get some brutal stuff. Then the match really kicks off and we get some brutal stuff with a chair, a cheese grater, a swinging ladder, Swanton Bomb from the Sandman on the ladder, a frog splash from Bubba Ray Dudley, but only gets a 2 count. Storm and Credible are here with barbed wire. We get a tombstone onto a barbed wire from Credible on Sandman. Francine arrives and low blows Tommy Dreamer, but then Beulah McGillicuddy comes out. Or Beulah Dreamer, who knows. But then there's a cat fight. And side note, we got to see Francine's thong. Nice. Low blow to Lance, and he's out of here. Tommy is just an absolute mess. Devon's balls get crushed. He gets kendo sticked. Bubba then just says, fuck this. Brings out the table. Powerbomb on Sandman through the table for a 2 count. 3D on Tommy Dreamer, and Spike Dudley is here for some reason. They set a table on fire, and Tommy Dreamer gets powerbomb through a flaming table for the 3 count. They went to kill Beulah, but Sandman saves her, and then calls for beer to help Tommy. This brings out Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin brings out all of ECW. Everyone's in the ring now. Taz comes out. There's a big brawl. Taz chokes out Kurt Angle. Foley brings Eric Bischoff to the ring. He takes a 3D, a diving headbutt, a 619, and a stunner. Yeah, this was insanity. It was a little too much for me at times. The finish was sick. It was what it needed to be. It was sort of a greatest hits match with loads of people. I'll give it 3 3/4. Yeah, so that was One Night Stand 2005. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good show. Really well done stuff. Pros for me, the main event I'll give a pro to, and the whole brawling at the end also I think was a positive. Mike Awesome and Masato Tanaka, again I think that's also a pro. A negative though, I would say a con, is Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit. Disappointing. I thought that was kind of disappointing. And the crowd during the Psychosis and Rey Mysterio match also is a con to me. Another positive though is RVD's promo. That was excellent. And Lance Storm versus Chris Jericho, I'll give that a pro as well. So yeah, a pretty good show. Nothing really sucked on this. And yeah, good stuff. I definitely recommend this show. Thank you for listening. Make sure to like, comment, share and subscribe, and take care.